Hey, look, I got some new eyeballs. I got some new eyeballs. But vanity alert. We're not going to wear them while we make a video. I will smoke, however. Uh, uh, this the YouTuber. What was your name? You know I get Dane Bramage, but you wanted to hear one of you YouTubers wanted to hear the story about the bear. All right, I'm going to tell you the story about the bear. I was down there, and where Hurricane Debbie came aground. That town is called Heinz Hatchie, which is kind of an oxymoron. It is. But if you want to hear the story about the bear, I'm going to tell you. Where Hurricane Debbie came aground, I've been in that town. I have. I was riding a bicycle from Texas into Florida, and I cut through that town, And as I got into the town, they were all hanging out, the local yokels, were hanging out in this. They have a convenience store, I guess you'd call it that, and has a little pavilion next to it. And so I bought some beer. I bought a 6-pack of beer. It was the end of the day. I was tired of riding my bicycle. And so I was talking to these guys and telling them what I'm doing. I'm like, hey, where's a good, safe place for me to camp out tonight? And they're like, well, go down to the VFW. Sits right there on the water, and you'll be safe there. They got a picnic bench that sits right there on the water. And I'm like, all right, And we drank all the beers, and everybody had a good time. But they told me, be careful, watch out for the bears. And I'm like, yeah, right, bears, I've learned about bears. So anyway, I find the VFW, and I lay down on this bench, and I parked my bicycle on one side of the bench, and I laid down on the other side. And in the middle of the night, who knows what time it was? I don't know. It was the middle of the morning. It was like 3 a.m. or whatever. And I hear this crunch, 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 And of course, raccoons get me all the time. Raccoons get me all the time. And so when I was hearing this mess, crunch, crunch, crunch in my bicycle, I sat up and I'm like, get out of my stuff. And when I sat up, it was a bear, a Florida black bear. Now, they're not the biggest of bears, but I tell you what, if you ever get in front of one, they're big enough. And this son of a gun was eating my lunch, man. I got up and I ran, man. I ran right into the ocean. I sure did. I ran right into the Gulf of Mexico, and I got up to my hips in the water when it dawned on me that bears can swim. And I'm like, all right, we're just gonna have to fight. We're gonna, it's fight or flight. And so I turned around and I said, all right, bear, But when I turned around, he was not hot on my trails. I seen him running away with my lunch. I had to let him have it. What was I going to do? I wasn't going to let that bear. I wasn't going to chase that bear down and try to take my lunch back. I just let him have it. It's like I can get some more lunch later, So that's what happened. Since you wanted to hear the story, that's my bear story. Don't mess with bears. But always do this, guys. Love the one you're with. And I'll call you later. Stay out of trouble. That's my bear story. That's my bear story.